So the second legs are complete for the playoff rounds. We now know who has made our round of 16, so I'm going to do a review of the second legs, and there were some pretty crazy results. Pretty much all ties were pretty entertaining, to say the least. We got a lot to talk through, so I'll give my thoughts and opinions on all of the games. We'll also probably touch on Liverpool Villa as well at some point, because of course that was a big game in the midweek too. But yeah, and we'll have a look at the round of 16 preview as well. But let's begin. So we'll start here. So Atalanta. Wait, no, this is the first leg. On the second leg, there we go. Actually, no, we'll do this one. So, AC Milan 1, Feyenoord 1. Aggregate score of 2-1 to Feyenoord. Feyenoord progress in this tie, thanks to Sandy Jimenez and Garanzar with the goals, and there were 2 red cards in this one as well. So, this was a very, very good tie. Going into it, of course, Feyenoord came in with a 1-goal lead, and I said in my prediction preview one that Feyenoord, I think they had to score in this game because I didn't think they were going to keep a clean sheet, but I did not expect them to concede within 40 seconds. 40 seconds in, they conceded Santi Jimenez as well. Of course, their former player with the goal. And of course, from this point, you're thinking, okay, so it's going to be a long day for Feyenoord. AC Milan are going to turn up the heat. But to be fair to Feyenoord, from that point on, like, Milan didn't really threaten tons. It wasn't, I sort of got the perception that Milan were going to pepper them, and it's very easy. You see teams sort of concedes an early goal and just sort of crumbles under the lights, under the pressure. But I actually think Milan, of course, were the better side in the first half, but Feyenoord defended pretty well. And I mean, overall, right, like, they only had that one big chance, and I thought Feyenoord did very well to recover, because it can be very easy to just fold when you concede that early on. But they kept their heads, and they were composed, and they got to half time at 1-0, and that's fine. Then the second half comes, and Theo Hernandez, oh man, he has blood on his hands. That was crazy. He had sent off the captain, well, not captain, but one of the captains for Milan, gets sent off for diving for simulation. I mean, are you serious? What? I don't understand. I understood it kind of back in the day, but I don't understand why you would dive in 2025 when there's literally VAR. Like, there's no way you would ever, like, there's no benefit of diving, at least in the box, when there's VAR, and VAR exists, because even if you manage to trick the referee there, they're just going to go to VAR and overturn the decision, and then you're going to get a yellow. So I don't understand why on earth you would do that, and particularly why you would do that in a Champions League knockout game. Like, are you serious? You're going to be an experienced player, and you're doing that, and he completely cost his team. Completely cost his team. Because, I mean, as I mentioned, it wasn't like Milan were peppering Feyenoord, but Milan were the better side. They were the team on top. And then, of course, the red card happens, and the game completely shifts, and then Feyenoord get their goal. Carranza, by the way, I mean, he literally, I don't know if it's just me, but he literally looks, maybe his brother or some, surely they're brothers, right? This guy looks identical to Santi Jimenez. Like, they literally look like brothers. But anyways, yeah, this guy comes on and scores, and yeah, from that point on, Milan obviously tried their best, but with 10 men chasing the game, had to get a goal, it was going to happen. And yeah, to be honest, I thought over the course of the two legs, I think these teams were pretty even. Like, Milan were probably the better side in this game. The other game was fairly even. I think the only reason Milan are out of this is they have themselves to blame. First leg, the only goal of the game, Mike Mignon, absolute blunder in goal. And then of course second leg, Theo Hernandez, red card. So I don't think you can blame like Conceição, or you can blame the entire Milan team. I just think individual mistakes and errors have completely cost them over the course of the two legs, and that is why they're out. But full credit to Feyenoord, full credit to Feyenoord, because they played very well over the course of the two legs, and while Milan had their errors, Feyenoord punished them. And yeah, what an achievement it is for them to get to the round of 16. I'm not sure what the furthest they've ever been to in the Champions League is, but certainly say they haven't been to round of 16 in a very long time. So fantastic achievement for them to be a historic club like Milan out of the Champions League. Very, very well done to them, and I think they could be a little bit dangerous as some clubs, a little bit dangerous. So I'm intrigued to see how they do. Alright, next up we have Atalanta 1, Club Brugge 3. Aggregate score of Atalanta 2, Club Brugge 5 in this one. Goals from Lukman, 2 from Taubi, 1 from Jutla, and a red card for Toloi in this game. Yet another banger, an absolute banger of a game this was. So going into this one, again, Club Brugge had a 1-goal lead going into this one ahead of Atalanta, but you thought, Atalanta being at home probably could overturn that. Literally 3 minutes in, they concede, and you're thinking, okay, well, they've still got time. And then Atalanta looks pretty well. They were the ones huffing and puffing. Then they get hit with another goal. This guy gets a brace, and now you're thinking, okay, they might be in trouble here. But then they keep pushing. And then, this goal is one of the craziest sequences of play I think I've ever seen. Just before half time. Wait, is it this one? Yeah. So Zappacosta hits a post. It says save there, but Zappacosta hits a post. Pasalic, I don't know how, but he misses this header. Mingley saves 0.53 XG on that. And then Cordados get his shot blocked off the line. They clear the ball on the break, and Jutla scores an absolute banger, and it's suddenly 3-0. It was crazy. It was absolutely crazy. And then Lukman comes on second half, scores instantly, and you're thinking, surely not. They then get another chance, and they win a penalty, but unfortunately for them, Lukman's penalty was saved by Simon Mingley, who, who would have thought age 36 this guy would be balling out in a Champions League knockout stage. It's pretty mad, to be honest. But fair play to him. And yeah, from that point on, that sort of sucked any life out of Atalanta, and the game sort of petered out. They were very unlucky to lose this. They were by far the better team in this one, but they couldn't put their chances away, and Club Brugge were clinical. And then comes one of the funniest red cards I think I've ever seen. Honestly, I'm not even going to try to describe it. Just go watch it. Just go watch it if you haven't already. It's pure comedy. It's pure comedy. Anyways, what an absolute banger of a game, and losses in this Champions League. I certainly did. They had a pretty good Champions League phase and were very close to qualifying through the playoffs. They drew to Barcelona, they drew to Arsenal, they pulled off some pretty good results and have been good this season, and of course are the Europa League champions, beat Liverpool last season. So they're a real threat. I thought they would be a real threat. So for Club Brugge to beat them home and away, not just knock them out, but knock them out emphatically 5-2 on aggregate. I mean, that is really, really impressive, and you have to give a major shout out to them and their team. All the job their manager has done. Yeah, absolutely unbelievable job. Well done to them. But Atalanta, I mean, they can be feel really hard done by here, because I think, to be honest, over the course of the 2 legs, they probably were the better side. Just first leg, of course, there was that penalty incident right at the end, which I think was never a penalty. And then in this game, of course, just didn't really have any luck in front of goal, to be honest, and Club Brugge were clinical. There was, however, some sort of after narrative in this game with Lookman and Gasperini. So after the game, Gasperini came out in the press and basically said that Lookman is one of the worst penalty takers he's ever seen, and he's awful in training at penalties. He doesn't know why he took the pen. And then Lookman sort of clapped back and basically said, those comments were pretty disrespectful and stuff like that. But I mean, I thought it was just absolutely crazy from Gasperini. I mean, how are you blaming Lookman really here? How are you singling him out for this? I mean, even if Lookman scores that penalty, yeah, sure, we have momentum, but I have to score 3 more goals to go through. So, I mean, Lookman, he came on in the second half. He's the only reason, actually, you had a glimmer of hope, because he came on and scored instantly. Yeah, you can maybe be mad that he didn't score a penalty, but I think the way he sort of singled him out is just not good, particularly considering what he's done for your club. Last season he was integral in winning the Europa League. He is your best player. He has been amazing this season in the league and in the Champions League. So yeah, I mean, I'm really on Lookman's side here, because I just don't know what Gasperini is really doing there, just singling out Lookman. It'd be interesting how that dynamic plays out for the rest of the season. But yeah, I mean, Atalanta as a whole can be very, very, very disappointed about their Champions League campaign and this exit, because they were definitely tipped to go through here, but they failed miserably. Next up, Bayern Munich 1, Celtic 1. Bayern Munich qualify on an aggregate score of 3-2. Goal from Alphonso Davies and Nicholas Kuhn. So, a bit of a shock here, and it was almost a massive shock hit. Bayern Munich need a 94th minute Alphonso Davies goal to qualify into the round of 16 to beat Celtic. I mean, it's pretty mad, to be honest. I'll be honest, after the first leg I thought this game was pretty much done. Celtic did pretty well in the first leg, but I thought there's no way Celtic go to Allianz and beat Bayern Munich. But I mean, they were literally about 30 seconds away from doing so. And I mean, you have to give a massive shout out to Celtic here, because that was unbelievable. That was an unbelievable performance by them. And to be honest, they probably deserved to win the game. They were the better side. Bayern had chances, of course, and couldn't put them away. But so did Celtic. I mean, they had 4 big chances in this game. Celtic played so well. Kasper Schmeichel was fantastic in goal when called upon. Dortmund made some good saves, but they countered so well. Kun was amazing, Jota was amazing. It was superb. And it's so unfortunate. The goal was just so lucky, wasn't it? Karvik just couldn't really react quick enough. But Celtic fans should be massively, massively proud of their team. It was a unbelievable performance. Obviously, so heartbreaking to concede and go out in that manner late on like that. But it was a great performance, and they gave it their all. And I think this has been one of their best Champions League campaigns for a very, very long time. So well done to them and Brendan Rodgers. As for Bayern Munich, wow, that was pretty embarrassing to say the least. To be honest, yeah, not good at all. In a 94th minute goal to draw against Celtic and get past Celtic over 2 legs. That is crazy. No disrespect to Celtic, but Bayern Munich want to, they should have ambitions to win this competition. If you want to win this competition, they cannot be going, this far against Celtic, right? It was a poor performance. They created some chances, and they probably should have scored earlier. But as I said, defensively they were getting ripped apart on the counter attack. The Celtic goal was absolutely awful defending from them, and yeah, on the counter, Celtic probably should have scored at least 2 goals in this game. Some real concerns, I think, from Bayern. Harry Kane as well had to come off due to injury, which is not good. Look, at the end of the day, they managed to get the job done, and that is all that matters. Well done to them. They are in the next round. But I think there's a little bit of a wider thing here. I would be a little bit concerned if I am a Bayern Munich fan here, because that wasn't great, and in general they haven't been great in the Champions League this season under Company. I do fear that if it get drawn against a big team like a Barca again or a Liverpool, someone like that, I think they might be out. But look, it is what it is. They found a way to win, so well done to them. Next up, we have Benfica 3, Monaco 3. Benfica win 4-3 on aggregate. Yeah, an absolutely crazy game here. Goals galore, 6-goal thriller. Benfica, how many thrilling games are these guys going to be involved in? Obviously at home, they had that 4-5 loss against Barcelona. They've now got a 3-3 here against Monaco. It's crazy. But yeah, this was mad. So Benfica came into this one with a 1-goal lead, but pretty much because their goalie was playing against them, they almost went out, or almost went to extra time in this one. Trubin had one of the biggest disaster classes I've ever seen. He was awful. For the first goal, probably should save. The third goal was absolutely horrific. The second goal was a nice move from Monaco, but yeah, Trubin probably should have saved 2 out of the 3 goals. That being said, Monaco were fantastic. Monaco created some really good chances. They probably should have scored. Mbolo. He was a nuisance up top, but did not have his shooting boots on, but he was a nuisance. And yeah, I thought Monaco played fantastic, but very unfortunate not to get anything from this and send it to at least extra time. A late goal by Okan Kotu, a fantastic assist from Avalo Kalias, and a fantastic finish. But yeah, this game was so thrilling. It was end to end, and so many goals in it. It was great watch. But Benfica came out on top, just about. Not the most convincing, but they found a way to get it done. Monaco, very heartbreaking for them, of course, to exit in that manner. But they went down swinging, and fair play to them, honestly. And well done to Benfica, who, I mean, I don't know who they're going to get, but I sure will be watching their ties, especially when they're at home, because, I mean, it's going to be entertaining, right? Alright, next up we had a game which was pretty much over. Dortmund 0, Sporting 0, a aggregate score of Dortmund 3, Sporting 0. Yeah, I mean, this one was pretty much dead. In the first time, Dortmund had won 3-0. So, yeah, I mean, this game didn't really matter too much. Dortmund were definitely the better side in this one too, and unfortunate not to win this tie, or at least this second leg. But, I mean, they won't really get too much. 0-0, 3-0 on aggregate. I mean, the sort of wider thing here, I guess, Dortmund, very well done to them. Yeah, fantastic from Dortmund. Sporting, I mean, of course, they've not been great since Amram's gone, but they still have quality, and I think are a fairly evenly matched side to Dortmund. So for Dortmund to dispatch them that easily is very impressive, and is very good for Niko Kovac as well, to get that under his belt straight away. So well done to them. Seri Girassi, wait, didn't he have a penalty miss in this game? Something. Yeah, he did. Oh, okay. To be honest, I didn't even bother watching the highlights because this game was so dumb. But Girassi missed a pen, which would be unfortunate for him because he's going for that golden boot in the Champions League. But yeah, very professional job from Dortmund, and maybe, who knows, could be a little dark horse in the latter rounds of the competition. Right, another tie that was completely done. PSG 7, Brest 0, an aggregate score of 10-0 to PSG. I mean, wow. Yeah, this was a statement. I mean, I know it's Brest, I know PSG sort of expected to win, but to win a two-legged tie 10-0, I mean, that is impressive. I don't really care who you're playing. That is impressive, and it's a big statement. 7-0, 7 different goal scorers. I mean, yeah, it's insane. It's insane. And I mean, PSG were just by far the better team than Brest, who, look, they've done amazing to get even this far, but I mean, they've been embarrassed, and it's quite an embarrassing loss for them. And I guess the manner of their exit is sort of taking a shine a little bit off what has been a fantastic first ever Champions League campaign for Brest, but I mean, they've just been dismantled here by PSG, who, I'm not gonna lie, PSG are looking pretty scary right now. As I said, I know it's Brest. Let's see how they do up against, a Real Madrid or a Liverpool. But right now they're in some incredible form. Veritak, Dembele, Bokala, Kvala are just on fire right now, and their whole team is looking great. And I think this could be a year where they genuinely push for that Champions League title. As I said, it was early. Let's see how they do against bigger opposition. But it does seem like things have finally clicked at PSG this season, and yeah, they are looking pretty unstoppable right now. 7 goals in a Champions League game, absolutely unbelievable. Yeah, I would not want to play them. If I was somebody, because yeah, they're looking really, really good. So well done to them. Right, next up we have PSV 3, Juventus 1. After extra time, PSV progressing aggregate score of 4-3. Now this one was the complete opposite, a very, very close two-legged tie in which PSV have progressed, knocking out Juventus over the two legs. This one was a back and forth one. Perisic gave them the lead. I mean, Perisic over the course of these two legs has been unbelievable. He scored in both ties. Absolutely clutch. I mean, at his age to be doing that is pretty crazy. I mean, he's 36. Fair play, fair play. Weyer then scored an absolute banger of a goal. Absolute banger of a goal. It was a little bit controversial though, due to a potential offside for impediment, but I don't think it was offside. Then he scores straight away after Sabiri. About 10 minutes later, we go to extra time, where Flamengo gets the winner. The Gregorio, an absolute howler for that goal, but to be fair, I mean, he did make some good saves overall in this game, and he kept them in it. But I mean, Juve, wow, you know what? They had chances. They had some real good chances. I mean, look at this: 5 big chances and 5 big chances missed. They had some good chances actually before PSV scored to get the first goal of the game, and they just completely squandered them. Kolo Muani, he's been amazing since joining Juve, but he had a real bad game when it really mattered most. And I think if Juve maybe scored a first goal, he'd take one of those chances. Potentially we had a different game, because sort of sucked for life out of PSV, but once PSV scored, it just sort of gave them that confidence that we're back in this game. We're back in this tie. So yeah, I mean, Juve, they just have themselves to blame really. They couldn't put their chances away, and then to be honest, after PSV scored, PSV were the team on top. Like, extra time was pretty much all PSV. They could have even scored more towards the end. The Gregorio pulled off a great save at the end, but yeah, overall, PSV are probably the better side. But as I said, I think Juve, they took those chances earlier, then maybe it's a different story. But it's a really disappointing exit for them. And yeah, I mean, Thiago Motta, there's probably going to be a little bit more pressure cranked up on his job now, because that's a poor exit to PSV, who are a good side, but you probably were expected to go through in this tie. So yeah, it's not good from them at all. Yeah, PSV though, absolutely incredible. Well done to them. They overturned the deficit, and yeah, fantastic from them to knock a giant out like Juve. Really well done. I do think they probably were. To be honest, actually, I think it was pretty even over the course of the two legs in terms of who were the better side, but they don't care. They took most of their chances when they got them, and yeah, very well done to them. Alright, and finally, Real Madrid 3, Manchester City 1. Real Madrid win 6-3 on aggregate here. Kylian Mbappe with a hat-trick in this one. Manchester City comfortably knocked out of the Champions League. I mean, see, when this tie was set, I said in my predictions that Real Madrid were going to comfortably beat Manchester City over the course of the two legs, and that is exactly what has happened. I mean, this game was not even close. It was not even close. Like, Man City had one shot in this. To be honest, I think up until about the 70th minute, they had one shot the entire game. Manchester City were absolutely battered in this one. Kylian Mbappe turns up in the Champions League for Madrid with a hat-trick. I mean, his second goal, Josko Gvardiol got sent to the gulag. I mean, that was brutal. The third goal as well, beautiful cut in finally arrived at Real Madrid. It was a tough start, of course. It was a very tough start for him, but he has finally sort of come into his element, and this is what they paid the big bucks for, these Champions League nights under the lights. And Mbappe, I'm not going to completely say yet, but Mbappe is looking like he's back. He's looking like he's back, and that is a scary sight if he is. It's very, very scary, but a really good performance from Real Madrid. They completely dominated City in this game, as I sort of expected, but they got their job done in very good fashion, and yeah, it was a good performance overall from Real Madrid. And I think if that Real Madrid, perform like that for the rest of the season and in the rest of their Champions League games, then I think they're going to be serious threat to win this competition, because they were superb in this game. That being said, Manchester City made it very easy for them, and Manchester City were abysmal. So Erling Haaland was on the bench for this one, because of course he picked up a knock versus Newcastle, but he did not come on, and there was some weird change of system here, some tactical masterclass from Pep, which resulted in absolutely nothing, and resulted in his team getting absolutely smacked. I mean, yeah, as I said, these stats sort of deceive you, because most of this is sort of towards the end of the game, once the game was completely done, and they got a consolation goal, but that was really about it. Manchester City were outplayed for 80 minutes in this game, and yeah, I mean, it's really a damning indictment of where Manchester City have fallen. A couple of years ago, Manchester City, when they were going to the Bernabeu, I remember, were actually just last season. I mean, they went to the Bernabeu and I think it was 3-3. Now they're just getting absolutely bopped. Phil Foden about a year ago was scoring bags in the Bernabeu. Now this guy has put an absolute stinker at the Bernabeu. Their defence, I mean, as I said, Oscar Guardiola got sent to the gulag. I mean, this guy was getting cooked left, right and centre. Same with Diaz. Poor Kusanov, to be fair, was not abysmal, but I did feel really bad for him getting chucked into that. Nico Gonzalez, I mean, he got a goal, nice, but he was not great either. I mean, everything about this City team was just abysmal. It was abysmal. And yeah, they are humbled and comfortably knocked out of the Champions League, as you would expect, because, to be honest, they're just not a very good side, are they? Anyways, let's actually we'll look at that later. So that is the round 32. If we now have a look, I believe the draw is on Friday. We have a look at round 16 potential we now know. So it is going to be one of PSG or Benfica will play one of Liverpool or Barcelona. So we're going to have a mighty clash there. PSG will face either Liverpool or Barcelona. I mean, that is going to be good. That is going to be really, really good. As I said, I don't think many teams want to play PSG, so Liverpool and Barca will be hoping they get Benfica. I mean, even if, to be honest, the best case scenario would be PSG versus Liverpool, Benfica, Barca, because, I mean, we all saw what happens when Benfica and Barca play, right? It's an absolute banger. But whatever happens there is going to be crazy. Dortmund or Brugge will play Lille or Villa. Interesting ties, very, very interesting ties potentially there. This one again is going to be an absolute banger. Real Madrid or Bayern will play Atletico or Bayer Leverkusen. So we could, have a Madrid derby in the Champions League. We haven't had that in a very, very long time, so that could be really, really good. We could have Leverkusen up against Real Madrid, of course. Xabi Alonso coming up against this potential new team, or we could have a Leverkusen Munich clash. So again, these are the ones to look out for. We then could have PSV or Feyenoord versus Arsenal or Inter. One of the Dutch teams will face Arsenal or Inter. Should be interesting there, but we'll see what happens. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty crazy. So these are our teams left in the Champions League. There's only one Italian team. AC Milan, Juve and Atalanta all got dumped out in this round of 32, which is pretty crazy. So Italy's hopes lie with Inter Milan. We've got two Eredivisie teams, which is pretty impressive and definitely boosts their chances of getting an extra Champions League spot next season. And we've got 3 German clubs, and we've got 3 Spanish clubs, 2 from Ligue 1, PSG and Lille, who are doing, Ligue 1's doing pretty well here. 1 from Portugal, and we have 3 from the Premier League. So should be interesting. Speaking of the Prem, just briefly touching it, but Aston Villa Liverpool played as well, 2-2, which is going to be a big result in the title race. This one, Liverpool dropping points again. Was a very, very entertaining game. Both teams had some big chances. I mean, Liverpool had some big ones. I mean, Darwin Núñez and Diogo Jota, wow. they had some stinkers in front of goal. Particularly, I mean, Núñez, I don't know, he missed his chance, and Jota, but to be fair, Villa also had some big chances as well. Both teams could have won this game, but in the end, it ended a draw. But that means points dropped for Liverpool, who aren't in the greatest of forms right now. Lost to Plymouth, drew to Everton, just about got past Wolves, now drawn to Villa. Yeah, it's not amazing from Liverpool right now, and this result does mean now that they are 8 points clear, but Arsenal of course have a game in hand now. If Arsenal win that, then they are only 5 points away from Liverpool, which is not a lot. So yeah, potentially we could have a decent title race on our hands. We'll have to wait and see what happens there. But anyways, that is the Champions League round of 32 review. Let me know your thoughts on all the games discussed, and if you have enjoyed, please do leave a like, consider subscribing.